What's going on, guys? It's the D Train of Buddy and D Train Talk Sports. It's been a little while, couple of weeks, whatever, but here we are. As always, I'm your host, D Train. We got
Buddy.
And Josh.
we got the whole squad. Buddy and D Train Talk Sports with Josh, BDJ coming at you. It is 8:15 on September
Oh my
3rd.
Lord.
All
August,
right.
September. I didn't know that was a
I
month.
got the August, September. It's a new thing. God just came out with it. It's the DLC pack.
Right.
Can't get enough of it. All right. So some big stuff going on in the world of sports, especially because it's been a while. Okay. All right. We took a little break in real life. The way scheduling, it happens. Say la vie. It is what it is. The NBA, a lot been going on there. Playoffs. But last week, something big happened. Yet again in current events, and seemingly unarmed African American was killed at gunpoint by the police, Jacob Blake, and this sparked yet another wave of the Black Lives Matter movement. And in solidarity, the NBA, NHL, MLB, WNBA, I think PGA golf, NASCAR, and maybe even tennis all stopped play for 2 or 3 days each. Baseball, a couple of games went on. I think the Mariners went on. West Coast teams went on for the most part, but that was kind of it. What's your take on this, guys? Personally, I thought it was good. I thought it was good to get the conversation going and direct the news cycle only to that one thing, because I thought it was important for all of us as a nation to really talk about this once again, especially in light of recent events in May. After all that went down with George Floyd, like how can this happen again? Not even 3 months later. So, Josh, I'll start off with you.
Yeah, man. It's I think well, when the whole thing with George Floyd happened, you seen change a little bit with with people like coming together more. And you got to think about it around that time, Corona was still a thing people feared. I mean, I don't think so as much of now, but around that time, people, feared Corona. And, when that happened, people were out marching, and it just showed like, yeah, we're going through a pandemic, but people were still coming out together. Like all that, the fear of Corona, not wanting to be around people, it didn't even matter because of what happened. And you also have to remember there was no distractions going on in the world. There were no sports. There were no nothing. So that's kind of what made that situation so huge. So, then you have what just happened with Blake. And you think about it and you're like, right now you have basketball playoffs, you got, baseball getting ready for the playoffs, so you have those distractions. So you don't have to worry about what's going on in the real world right now. So I think it was a very smart and good move by all those sports to come together and stop play, because, there's something bigger than sports going on right now, and that was the main cause for that and for all of them sitting out. And I applaud all those sports for doing that. It really shows a lot when, they, because people don't really like to tie sports with politics, but in some situations you have to, because it's just kind of what's going on in the world. And it affects people that, play in that certain sport. You have all type of different cultures and, just races. So it's very important to, stop what you're doing, because you do have these people that are being affected that are, also putting money into your pocket. So, yeah, I thought it was just a great move by all those sports. So,
Yeah, I like what Josh said. I think he spoke very highly well. I like to give praise to that. Also, I do respect the fact that the players choose to use their platforms. I always feel like when you have a player like LeBron, for instance, he has, I mean, even though the amount of money he's making, he's still caring he doesn't let that get to him, doesn't let that bother him. He still tries to focus and take time to look at the issues that are going on in the world. And no matter what, I always respect how players come together and use their platform for, to make change, and I always, I respect that highly. And I don't think it was an issue what the players did to, take a pause and, speak up for what is right. I like what the Baltimore Ravens want. They want, reform in the police system altogether, which I thought was pretty good. And I also like how everyone just come together and said enough is enough. And that is what I think we all can agree on. Because we all know that 7 times was a little bit too rough. I mean, that wasn't too rough. That was rough. And I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, just unimaginable word for that 7 times. That's a lot. You know what I mean?
In front of his
And
kids too.
I always preach. Wait, what?
He said, and in front of his kids, like.
I always preach. Like I said, I always preach love and peace to everybody, no matter what race or what we all got to judge by the character of a person, not by the color of their skin. And that is how we all got to live. Preach love and happiness to everybody. Life is precious. It's important. We are living in it, and we got to do as much as we can to love one another and survive, and just also enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because we only get one life. That's all I got to say. I hope I spoke well. Anything you guys got to say, just let me know.
I think the sport league that really stood out to me during this was the NHL, because obviously the demographic for the NHL and the majority of the players that play are white. So I thought it was very interesting to see, despite there only being, not being too many black hockey players, I thought it was interesting to see. Obviously you have like your Wayne Simmons, the Subban brothers, and
PK
other
Soup.
guys, Evander Kane, whatnot. But I thought it was very interesting to see how those guys, those players and whatnot, knew that what they were doing was bigger than just scoring a puck into a goal. And I like that. I respect that a lot. And I also thought what was interesting with baseball was, I really thought the way Clayton Kershaw, as the leader of the Dodgers, handled it was very, like, there's good leadership in sports, and then you see good leadership in sports. It's more than just like a story. Mookie Betts said that he wasn't comfortable playing. Clayton Kershaw, is the leader and the captain of the Dodgers, said, all right, then none of us are. And he said it to the media. Mookie Betts said it to the media. Obviously, Dave Roberts was very supportive of their decision. And I really liked how, you see, you see guys from different cultural backgrounds, different upbringings and whatnot coming together and understanding that this goes beyond, a jersey. It goes beyond a baseball diamond. I really like that. And I thought it was a very powerful moment for sports. And I think that people that say like, oh, nowadays, why is, sports become political? It's always been. This isn't like some new thing. From Jackie Robinson and Larry Doby that broke the color barrier. Larry Doby 11 weeks after Jackie Robinson did it in the 40s with baseball. He was on the Indians. Jackie Robinson was obviously on the Dodgers. And then you see Bill Russell in the NBA playing for Boston, which is, from all accounts, pretty historically to be a racist city, and everything he went through from his home crowd, fans. And then you see Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton, who was arrested for being at an anti-war protest while he was a college player. And then even more in basketball, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, who was blackballed essentially for being outspoken about the Palestinian and Israel war, and how he was Muslim. So he obviously he pretty much said that there's, it's not as cut and dry as, the media is portraying, and there's a lot more gray areas. That was it. His career was over. To Craig Hodges, who in the early 90s had told Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan to boycott the NBA Finals for this very reason. It's very interesting. And I don't really like how like the narrative now is this is new. It's not really new. It's just now accepted. which I think is interesting. And I'm glad that now it's accepted more than, say, it was in the 90s, which cost Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf his career. And I'm sure we could go all day thinking about different examples in sports where, the line was drawn in the sand and guys stood up for what they believed in. I mean, another blackballing incident, Danny Graves from the Reds, somebody called him a racial slur and he flipped off the fan and it cost him his career, but whatever. He stood up for himself. And that's how it is. And that, you got to respect when guys do that, when they when they stand up for something that they believe in, regardless of what it's going to do to them financially or whatever off the field. So I just thought it was very interesting to see this, and I was glad to see that it was much more accepted now than 4 years ago when Colin Kaepernick first took a knee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we covered that topic pretty well.
Yeah. And also out of the NBA, man. So now the first round is completely done. The dust has settled. Everybody's moving on to the second round. Did it take forever? Absolutely. But there's gas in the bus and everybody's on the way, man. So what were some things that stood out to you guys? I know what stood out to me was the Dallas Mavericks and those Warriors on that team that just, fought through everything. Fouls, horrible officiating, more horrible officiating, even more horrible officiating. And hey, look, they lost in 6, but you know what? They put up a heck of a fight. Kristaps Porzingis obviously tore his MCL and then went on to still drop 30 and 12. Beast.
Mhm.
I mean, it was a wild series between them and the Clippers. Wild series, but Denver and Utah it was like watching a battle. I mean, it was some really good things. So what stood out to you guys?
I feel like actually wait, just two things, and then Josh, I'm gonna let you go off. I feel like the number one thing is to think Luka Doncic. I think he's legit. He's a beast, along with Kristaps. Am I right? You see how he performed, especially in that buzzer beater. I would have liked to see them go further in the playoffs. What, Josh? I see Josh. He's like grinning.
No, because Luka, man, like he's just like
He's insane.
to watch, man. I have to say, right now, him and Duncan from the Heat are like my favorite people to watch right now.
Really?
Much so Duncan now because Luka is out. But man, I'm telling you, man, these young guys they're balling.
Yeah. Sure.
They're balling. But so I think for the most part for the playoffs, I mean it's been good. Obviously the Utah Jazz, losing out to Denver. Donovan Mitchell was playing really good, so I feel bad for him. He was hurt, and you could just see how frustrated the Jazz players were, and so it's just like it's sad. It's sad because Corona, and then you got to work your tail off, in this bubble, and then to get sent out and stuff, and it's crazy. Like, so yeah, man, I don't know, man. It's sucks, but it goes on. Let's see who.
I feel like one other thing. I feel like we definitely got to talk about the Thunder, especially for the fact that they almost beat your Houston Rockets. And I know you have a lot to say on that, but I just want to point this fact out that the Thunder were 0.2%, in the beginning of the season to make the playoffs. That was their percentage. Think of that. That is huge. After losing over the years, Serge Ibaka, Westbrook, Kevin Durant, the list can go on and on and on. With just Chris Paul, he single-handedly and along with other players on that team helped them to the playoffs and to leading to a good series and almost beating the Rockets. Now, Josh, tell me, how did that make you feel? I'm sure you were nervous a little bit. Or did you have faith in your team? Let me hear it.
I have faith in my team,
exactly.
But it was still. I mean, obviously, when you're in that situation, it's still like very nerve-wracking. So, like the whole time, I'm just like I'm pacing, like, come on, man, just let's go, like, And James Harden didn't have a very good game. He only had 17 points, was like 1 for 9 or something like that in threes, and just a terrible game from James Harden. But for what he lacked, others definitely carried over. Covington had about 21 points. Eric Gordon had about 21 points. Russ had like 20. So what he lacked, other people definitely made up for, and they definitely stepped up in the game. And, I mean, hey, like I said, he might have had a bad game, but like I was telling Dennis earlier before we started the show, James Harden won that game. Covington set it up for the win, but James Harden won that game with that play because it was so much going on. You had the timeout, then you had the foul that gave them the ball back, and then they said it was then you had the flagrant foul, which put him at the free throw line, and then he misses. And it's just a lot going on. It was a lot of situations where it's just like, you don't know where this can go. And so when he got that block, that was just like
the moment.
Thank you. Like, that was it right there. Once he got the block, I'm like, yes, this is it. This is game. Because I was nervous when Covington missed his second free throw. I was like, crap, here we go. And I was like really nervous. But yeah, then James Harden gets that block. And it was just like, these are the moments you live for as a player. It's the adversity. The whole game doesn't even matter. When you get to that last second of the game, it's deadlocked. It could go either way. And when you can come out and play the defense like they did at the end of the game, that shows me the team that I know that the Rockets are. That proves that everybody, because a lot of people say, oh, well, Rockets can't play defense. Well, when it mattered, it happened. And even during the game, you can hear them like talking about it, and they're like, the Rockets are still a good team. The thing with the Rockets is they have a hard time closing games that they should have already closed. This series should have already been over for the Rockets, honestly, when you really think about it. They've had so many games where they could have closed out, but when they get to the fourth quarter, they relax. You can't relax with Chris Paul. Chris Paul is not a scrub. Like, he's just a player that gets injured so often, it kind of diminished who he is as a player. But Chris Paul is a great player. Even when he played for the Rockets, he was really good. The year that we really could have went to the championship and beat the Warriors, he got hurt. And once he got hurt, it was done for the Rockets. So Chris Paul is an amazing player, and I loved him when he was on the Rockets. So I think that's just some of the differences right there.
I was just about to say that I feel like this series showed how much the Rockets underestimated Chris Paul, and it showed how much they undervalued him when he was on their team and how much they underused him when he was on their team. And I think had they used him better, personally, I think that they'd be wearing rings right now. Well, I think they would have won. I definitely think they would have won last year. I feel like they would have had the perfect counter for the Raptors, and seeing how banged up the Warriors were, had he played a little bit better, or maybe had they used him a little bit better, they would have gone past the Warriors, and then we would have had Damian Lillard, who's been the Rocket killer most of his career, versus James Harden and Chris Paul. McCollum and Lillard versus Paul and Harden would have just been incredible to watch. But I think that they had a good shot last year, and I think that they undervalued Chris Paul at the time, and they just undermined him. And I think that was a big reason why they kind of fell apart much earlier than people had expected against the Warriors, because last year it wasn't much of a series. The Warriors kind of blew their doors off. So that was important. And then I think that you're right. They should have ended this earlier. And you just saw how, like, Steven Adams, I love Steven Adams, but he was out of place. And I think on that last play of the game, they should have put Danilo Gallinari in, because I think that he was faster, more mobile, and who knows, maybe he could have gotten an open shot or something. But Steven Adams, I mean, he was trying to set a screen or he was trying to do something, but he couldn't do anything. He should have rolled to the basket. I mean, their center is what, 6'4", 6'5". You're 7 feet tall, man. You got to get something off. And I think maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's Brad Stevens not knowing how to use people he has, or maybe it's him being so good with his guards that centers are just not something maybe he views as archaic. I don't know. But I think that last play yesterday kind of showed me as much as they love Steven Adams, I feel like they've always kind of held him back. I always felt like he was more like, I always felt like his ceiling was much higher than he's at, and he's been out there for quite a while now. I feel like he could have been like Tyson Chandler 2.0. But that's I mean, it is what it is now. But then another series which was good was the Lakers and the Blazers. One thing, my big takeaway from that series was, one, Dame Lillard is a beast. Too bad he got hurt. Two, folks, you're kidding yourselves if you think the Lakers are going to be able to sweep everybody into the finals. No way. They should have. They honestly, those games should not have been nearly as close as they were.
Their backcourt isn't strong enough.
It's not only that, but it's their whole team's built on streaky. Their whole team is built on streaky players, aside from LeBron. And I'd say Anthony Davis, but he's not going up against top-tier big men.
Yeah.
Most of their team were guys that people haven't even heard of before, like Wayne Gabriel, good player, didn't really know who he was.
Right.
So, we'll see what they can do against the Rockets. I mean, I still have them favored in that one, just because I don't think the Rockets are going to be able to play big enough on Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard. But we'll see. But, I mean, like, let's say they beat them, and then they're going to be going up against the Clippers or the Nuggets. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place because I don't think they could beat either team, to be honest with you. I think Mason Plumlee and Nikola Jokic are too big to just let LeBron walk to the basket on them. And I think that Jamal Murray is much better and quite frankly, just much younger than Danny Green. I love Danny Green, but I think his age has been showing in this playoff series. I think that they're able to hide it better in Toronto. And I think he's another one. Honestly, I just think he's kind of out of place on the Lakers. He should have stayed in Toronto or he should have went to the Clippers. Because I don't know. I think that they're either not having him go. He's not, a spot-up shooter. He's a off-ball, move around, get open kind of a player. And I haven't really seen that too much this season. And then when he is open, it's almost like he's surprised the ball is coming to him, and he whiffs. And another thing is if Kyle Kuzma is your third best scorer on your team, dude, you're going to have a hard time against the Clippers because Kyle Kuzma's a hype job. I mean, he was putting up empty. His numbers in the Blazers series were good, but that's nice and all. But you're going up against guys, no names from the YMCA that they're calling up because half their team is hurt, and it's garbage time. That's why you scored so much, dude. So I think that they're in for a rude awakening. They're going to beat the Rockets. They're going to feel good about themselves. And then I think they're just going to get – I will never say LeBron's is going to get swept, but it ain't going to no 7 games. Win, lose, or draw, it's not going to 7 games. Actually, I shouldn't say that. If they win, it'll be in 7, but they're not. If they lose, it's going to be a blowout on both of those teams.
I think out of the playoffs right now, I think probably the two teams I will just watching play, I would say with the best defenses right now, to me, in my opinion, would be the Heat and the Clippers. Those two teams defensively, tough on other teams. Tough.
And I think in this Bucs series, before we start talking more about the second round, but in the Bucs series, what we're seeing with the Heat, and we saw it a lot in the Pacers series, and we've pretty much seen it all year with the Heat, is they have the perfect combination of young players and savvy veterans. They have smart veterans. They have fast, athletic young guys, Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, I don't think is too old. And then they have Goran Dragic, his IQ is ridiculous. His basketball IQ is just absurd. And Shaquille O'Neal talked about that very much in detail in the Pacers series, that he said that the Dragic learned how to play a point guard, be a point guard in the NBA from Steve Nash, who was the best point guard in that era. And then he said that Dragic, if Shaq would give him a hard time, bust his chops or whatever, Dragic would go back at him. He's not afraid of anyone. So, like that kind of attitude, and then you factor in Jimmy Butler, who didn't do so good yesterday in terms of scoring, but I mean defensively he was great. And then he sunk the free throws to win it. So
he
it was
wasn't trying, because he even before the game and in the last game in the press conference, he said, I want it to be someone else. I don't want it to be me. So really, he was on chill mode that whole game. He was playing hella good defense. I mean, he had maybe 3 or 4 steals that game.
And he had a clutch one down the stretch, yeah.
Yeah. So I honestly, I don't even think he was trying. I mean, everybody else is just balling on all type of. I mean, like I said, Duncan has been one of the most entertaining guys to watch right now from the Heat. He's been just balling. And honestly, that whole team is just – their whole system just works for them, man. The way that they can just communicate on the court, like, it's crazy, man. Like, honestly, that's who I feel like – I feel like the Heat will win the series. The way that they are as a team right now, just their communication, they're all on point. Like, and you can see them offensively, defensively. During transitions, they're communicating the whole process. And I don't think I have ever seen any team in the playoffs right now do the way that they are doing it. So, I don't know, man. The Heat just looks like they're together more than any other team is right now. So, they're my favorites to win.
I'm inclined to agree, although I've been wrong all year. I had the Thunder as being the worst team in the NBA, and then I thought that the finals are going to be the Jazz and Indiana going into the season. Clearly I was wrong. I didn't have the Celtics going into the playoffs. In fairness, though, I didn't have the Celtics going into the playoffs specifically because I didn't think Kemba Walker and Gordon Hayward were going to be healthy for a full year. I was like, dude, no way, no how. I was half right on that. I give myself the credit. But, I mean, everything else I did horrible with. So I don't want to jinx my dude Jimmy Butler. But, yeah, I mean, I am inclined to agree that things are not shaping up well for the Bucs. Then obviously the Nets got swept.
Like, I mean, what's up with that? I mean, you think that they definitely have a chance to come back? Like, what do you guys see the outcome of this?
I think they're gonna come back. They're gonna shake back. I mean, they're both very good teams. I mean, even in that last game, it came down to the wire. Singleton was balling. I mean, who else? I'm trying to think of everybody on that team. But I mean, yeah, both teams are really good, and that's the thing. I mean, on and off the bench, I mean, they have a lot of players that can come in and just contribute. Like, so it's a good series to me. I mean, they're down right now, but and honestly, they're not really like they're not really like having him do a lot though. Like, and even like I think like the pre-game show, they were saying how like they're not having Giannis on the court like a lot. He's not on the court half of the time. He's like sitting down, like he's not in the game. So it kind of like changes the game when he's not there. I mean, he's there, in their enforcer. Like, so when you don't have him in the game against a Heat team. And then they, like Dennis said, they have a well-balanced vet to young ratio. It's like they can kill you in so many ways, and they've been killing in the three-point department. Right, and that's the thing. The Bucs keep giving them too much space to shoot the threes.
Got to play more man defense instead of
They're playing too much zone and stuff. Like, you can't play zone with the Heat. You have to be man up in their face because they will drop back and shoot. It was so many times when Duncan fake drove to the lane, stepped back, and shot the three, or
Yeah.
they would pass it out to him and he would fake go up, step to the side, and shoot the three. Like,
I feel like basketball is more of like a man. Like I know football is definitely like man to man, but I feel like basketball could definitely be like a man to man like defensive sport. You know what I mean? It's like you always got to cover guys up and down the court, always stop them from scoring. You know what I mean? I feel like it could work out beneficially for each team.
yeah, but the thing with that though is sometimes matchup. You know, like obviously you might have somebody like
Who's better? Like say you have like someone like Dave Robinson, for example. Say he went up with someone who against like Andrew Bogut. Like Andrew Bogut, he's a good player, but he's not. I guess he wouldn't be at a type of level that David Robinson is at as an NBA player. You know what I mean? I'm like two different eras, but you know what I mean. So I understand where you're coming from.
We see what you're saying, yeah.
And it, like you said with the matchups, teams always adjust to like different schemes and plays. So yeah, you're right. You corrected me on that.
Yeah, I mean, but like honestly though, it what you said is correct. It's more of a man defense, like, but it's like because of the matchup, you might have to change it up. Like, you know, most of the time you'll have somebody that's like quick, you know, and then they'll like with LeBron, it depends. Like they'll switch it up. LeBron could be, because of the matchup difference, LeBron can run. I mean, he can run pretty much every position on the court. So depending on who they play, they'll have him switch to like a different. I remember at one point he was running point guard for the Heat. Like at one point, and I guess it was just because of the matchup, you know. So it's just like it's just basketball is just different because everything is based off of a matchup, you know. And right now, like I said, the Heat is putting everybody in a disadvantage right now because it's like no matter who you have on them, they're going to get their buckets. And like I said, they can move the defense around. Like it was crazy. Like watching the game, they were moving. Everybody was guarding somebody different, and they were able to hold their own. And that's just kind of the difference. And that's what I'm saying with their matchup is different because everybody can get bumped around and it doesn't matter. You're not going to see it affect the game in any way. Like they're a well-balanced team right now. And honestly, I didn't see it like this in the beginning. Like they like just caught a spark out of nowhere. And like, I don't know, man. I'm just like just ready to continue to watch this series, man, because I don't know. I think they're gonna go to the finals, man.
It's interesting, and then obviously in the other East matchup, which is on, I'm watching it right now. The Clippers and the Celtics and the Raptors, much more one-sided than I think everybody thought. And I'm very impressed by the role players from the Celtics. Obviously, Jason Tatum's been doing well. But the player that sticks out to me is Marcus Smart. And I was called a Marcus Brown because Jaylen Brown was on the screen. And Marcus Smart. And then that new kid, man, Robert Williams, Robert Thompson, the Time Lord. He's great, man. Their center, he's an athletic center, a good, foil to Daniel Tides, who's their starting center. And then today I saw that that Enes Kanter is back in the lineup, but I don't know if he got hurt or something. But I mean, it's going to be an interesting series between the two of them. I think that the Raptors, their role players got to start doing more. I'm expecting more out of Marcus Gasol. Expecting more out of Freddie Van Vliet. Although Freddie Van Vliet's kids are in the building, so maybe we'll see Papa Van Vliet from last year. The only Raptor player in this series that I've really been impressed with, to tell you the truth, is Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka's been great. Overall, I think he's just an underrated player, but he's been playing really well. So we'll see what happens. And then
well, I'm not gonna say I'm surprised, but it's like, he's like staying very relevant is Kyle Lowry. Like, he's been a very relevant player. Like, I feel like with when he got on the Raptors, that's like the perfect team for him.
Yeah.
Like, you really start seeing him like back in the like old days, like he's back in like that old form with the Raptors, and I'm like, yo, now that's the Kyle Lowry I like to see, man.
Yeah.
You don't want to see the one that missed the game-winning shot in Game 5
Yeah, no.
in the finals. You want to see the Kyle Lowry now.
Yes, man. He's been doing really good.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. Now, I want to ask you guys a question, and I feel like this will wrap up basketball because we did cover a lot of it, and I want to cover a lot of other sports. What do you guys think now with the Rockets and Lakers series? What are you most excited about? What do you fear for the Rockets or Lakers on each team?
Look, as I alluded to earlier, the Lakers, I'm going to be shocked if this isn't a sweep. I really think the Lakers are going to sweep them, specifically because I just think that they're the exact opposite of the Rockets. They have big men, good big men, mobile big men. So, there's a difference between going up against Steven Adams, who, as much as I like him, slow as molasses, and going up against, Anthony Davis or Dwight Howard, So I think it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. We finally get the James Harden-LeBron matchup that we wanted, but I don't really think it's going to be much of a matchup. I don't think LeBron's going to guard him as much as we'd like. I think individually, I think Harden's going to have a good offensive series. I think I speak for everybody where I say Westbrook really needs to step it up. I feel like he's kind of,
I give him credit, though.
I think he's doing good with the with rebounds, which I like. But I feel like, in terms of scoring, I kind of want to see a little more. I'm not expecting him to start shooting threes like Ray Allen, but I do expect a little more because I think James Harden's going to need every little bit of Westbrook that he can get in this upcoming series. It's going to be a fun one. Honestly, the series that I'm more excited about is the Nuggets versus Clippers series because that could go either way. I see that really being, a dogfight. I think that's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a physical one. It's going to be a fun one to watch. So we'll see what happens with that one. But, I think that the Lakers versus Rockets one, they're two teams that are polar opposites. So it might be interesting to watch it from that standpoint. But I really, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it looks good for the Rockets going into it, but we'll see.
I wouldn't cancel the Rockets out because they did play them in the bubble, and they won again. I mean, it probably doesn't matter because it was just a bubble game, but still, you have to, like I said, and like a lot of other, like I've been listen to other analysts and stuff. The Rockets are not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. They're a solid team. Like I said earlier, the problem with the Rockets is they don't know how to close properly. So if they're up, then they're going to start slacking. And that's just what it is, So I would say if they play like how they did against the Thunder, then yes, it's going to be a sweep. But if they play like they played in that last couple of seconds of that game, if they play like that, it's going to be a good series. I mean, because even so, they might have, bigs that can move faster. But like I said, the Lakers' backcourt isn't strong. So you think about that. You have James Harden and you have Russell on the court. Even if you don't have Russell and James on the court, you still have Eric Gordon, who's just as equally needs to be recognized for what he does. And then you also have Austin Rivers. When he does good, he does good. Then you have Ben McLemore. When he comes off of the bench, he does good. You have House who comes off the bench who does good. So, the Rockets have the backcourt that can still support if, James Harden and Russ is not out there. Now, I'll give you that, Dennis, that, our bigs aren't really all that athletic per se. But it's not too much of a worry because they can still hold their own too. So I would say the biggest thing for the Rockets, in my opinion, is just being able to play a full game. They have a lot of times where they play half games and they want to show up at this time, show up at that time. If they do that, then it will be very difficult for them to win against the Lakers. But if they play a full game, a real full game, they can pull it off. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't count the Rockets out. I wouldn't say a full sweep. If the Rockets, like I said, can play some games where it's a full game and it's not like bull crap like they did this last series, then they have a shot. What do you think, though, Brandon? You didn't give us your intake.
Oh, what, like the Lakers and Rockets?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good series. You look at it, they got Russell Westbrook and James Harden. They always have faith in James Harden, one of my favorite players in the last decade and now. And then you got LeBron. LeBron, they're like the Ravens, in my opinion, of like the NBA. They were the number 1 seed, and they were dominant, just like, the Ravens were dominant with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is LeBron. What I'm hoping is that, the Rockets don't become the Titans and then ended up, upsetting them. So I would not like to see that. The Lakers, they have so much potential, and I think they're honestly my clear favorite to go to the finals. To win it, that's a different story against another team. I honestly see this going to Game 6, or this could go to Game 7. I don't know about a sweep. I feel like the Lakers would be competitive enough. I don't know how D-Train feels, about that. Because I know D-Train thinks the Lakers are going to sweep everybody.
Oh, no. No, dude, I think the Lakers are going to sweep the Rockets, and then I think Clippers or Denver is just going to blow their doors off.
All right, right. No, yeah. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a good series, competitive all throughout, and I'd like to see how it goes. Forgive me for that. That's
What do you guys think is going to happen with the dude, what am I doing, man? Between the Clippers and the Nuggets. I'm sorry. I totally forgot what the teams were called. The Nuggets and the Clippers series. Who you guys got on that one?
I got the Clippers. I got the Clippers because their defense is very sound. And whenever PG-13 decides he's going to play, it's going to be tough on the Nuggets. But that's another thing. No, you got to hope that you get the good PG-13 and not the PG-13 that puts up 55 shots and only make like 5. He didn't really do that, guys. I'm just saying in general. But you can't have that PG come out. And that PG comes out, it makes it tough on the Clippers because they rely on him a lot. But it's just their defense. Their defense is just so sound that their defense can hold, even if PG does have a bad game. But like the Nuggets, they have a lot of like big players though, man. Like they're freaking giants on the Nuggets. Like, so you always got that, like that David and Goliath battle. Like the Nuggets are just on like a roster standpoint. You just look at them and go like, dang, dude, like they're huge. Like they're huge. So it's like you have to respect that too because they're big. They're big boys. You got to respect the big boys. But like I said, that Clippers defense is just so gritty, man. I don't know. It's going to be a good series, but I don't know, man. Like you said, it can go either way. Like
it could go either way, yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to come down to the wire. And you're absolutely right. Jokic is a thick boy. He's a thick lad. So we'll see. That's going to be a good one. That's a set your DVR series.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
So you got the Heat or the Bucs? Who you think gonna pull that one out?
Oh, I want to see Jimmy Butler is my favorite player in the league, so I want to see the Heat. But I don't know.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on wood for this one. I still like Pat Connaughton. but from the Bucs. But like,
I like the Heat. I feel that energy. I feel that vibe. That just seeing Jimmy Butler and just the energy that the Miami Heat have right now. I mean, I don't know. That's my prediction. I'm going with the Heat.
now if the Heat are wearing the Miami Vice jerseys, any one of the 3 or 4 they have over the years, the Bucks are DOA, man. Done, donezo. But like,
Yeah, they bring
if
that
it's
to
just
my.
them, if it's them chilling out wearing the white or black or maybe the red, ooh, get spicy was it? I like the red too. Then it's probably going to be a toss-up. Could go either way. I understand the Bucks are down 2-0. I get that. Giannis is the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll
But
see. I'm expecting. I need more out of Chris Middleton. I need more. Eric Bledsoe. I shouldn't say I need more out of Eric Bledsoe. Has been having a good series since coming back from injury.
The hamstring, right?
Yeah, and he's been very good so far. So
he balled last game, so I
right.
don't know. He's pretty good.
Yeah, so I want to see if he can keep that going. I think maybe he caught the Heat off a little by surprise. But who knows? Maybe they'll over prepare, and then the Bucks are going to start going, and then next thing you know, it's 2-1. We'll see what happens. They make it a series again. But if the Bucks go down 3-0, dude, that is going to be a tough road to come back from. We'll see. Once again, like I'm not going to bet against the Defensive Player of the Year and the MVP. But personally, I need more Defensive Player of the Year out of Giannis Antetokounmpo because I'm not seeing it. Honestly, I didn't even think he should have been Defensive Player of the Year to begin with. I really didn't. I thought it should have been between Davis and Gobert. I don't know if people were watching the same games I was, but nothing was really blowing me away defensively from Giannis. I think Kawhi's better. I think there's better. I think Marcus Smart. I think I might rather take, but I guess Giannis because he gets more blocks. I don't know, or maybe because he's bigger. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that one. And then the Celtics and Toronto. It's tied right now. I guess I'll update everybody when the game is over. But this series so far has kind of been, you're not missing too much, folks. You're not missing too much. It's been pretty one-sided in favor of the Boston Celtics. Is that it for basketball? Do we need anything more? Oh, real quick, I don't think we gave enough respect to Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell for their battles in the past couple of ones. Both of them being the only players, being the third and fourth players to have 3 50-point games in a single season, in a single series. Jordan did it in 88 against the Cavaliers, and Iverson did it in 01 against the Raptors.
Wow.
Good on them. Good luck next year, Donovan, and good luck going forward, Jamal. And big news out of the NBA before we breeze past the NBA. And the reason why I'm wearing this, my boy Steve Nash, head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Josh, what's your thoughts? Because I think that's what you're about to talk about, right?
Yeah, no. So I think I like it, and I like it because I believe him and Kevin Durant have really good relationship. So I think that's one of the things that pushed him to being on there. But oh yeah, man, I love Steve Nash, man. He was a great player. I remember watching him when I was like younger, and I'm like, yo, he is cold. Like he's not really the biggest guy, but like the way he moved around the court was like he would be zoom, 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 like.
Yo.
He was a beast, man. I forgot what game it was called. Like I think it was like NBA Street or something. Mm-hmm. And like I remember like you had to like go against these players, or yeah, you had to go against these players, right? And then, like you would try to like get their crib and stuff like that. And like he was always like one of the hardest ones, and like his special moves would like freaking kill you, man. And like, but yeah, no, like I like it a lot. I think what was it like 4 years, right? Like 4 or 3 years or something like that. That was the contract, I believe.
Oh, yeah, something like that. I didn't really look at the contract, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but
early as I probably should have. Usually, it's probably going to be 3 years with a team option for a fourth.
Okay.
But I didn't look at it, so don't take my word as gospel.
Because I looked at it, but I don't remember if it was 3. It was in between 3 or 4 though, I believe. So, but yeah, I mean, I like it. Congratulations, Steve, man. You definitely deserve it. That's for sure.
Oh,
I would say congratulations to him. Not Jason Kidd, Steve Nash. I want to correct that. I said that in the beginning of the show. Steve Nash, yes. Congratulations to him.
so obviously Steve Nash, my favorite player of all time, holla. So I'm very happy that he's going to be the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Nobody saw this coming, but it's such a Nets thing to do. They did the exact same thing with Jason Kidd in the 2014 season, 2014 season. So, I mean, it's not like it's unprecedented for them to have done this. I like the relationship he has with Kevin Durant already. He was instrumental in Kevin Durant really becoming a three-point sharpshooter in Golden State. He was a consultant brought in to help their team with shooting and free throws. He had a good relationship with Steve Kerr when Steve Kerr was the general manager of Phoenix in the mid to late 2010s. So in the mid to late 2000s to the early 2010s, I meant to say, before he worked with Golden State. So I like it. Kevin Durant likes it. Kyrie Irving seems to like it. So obviously it was a good move. But one thing that was interesting that kind of flew under the radar was somebody who retired from the NBA not that long ago was contacted to be an assistant coach. Do you guys know who that player is? Did you guys read the headline? They turned it down, but I thought it was very interesting.
Could you tell me?
Future first ballot Hall of Famer Dirk Nowitzki was
really?
asked to be the assistant coach, and he turned it down because he doesn't want to go back to basketball yet.
Wow.
Very bizarre to me. I don't understand. I understand Steve Nash and Dirk are like this,
Yeah,
they're like two peas in a pod, PB and J. But why? They don't really have like I don't know how much he would do for them. But I guess I don't know.
That's really strange.
But I don't know, they're very close friends. So I think that's very interesting. And then the current head coach, the interim head coach, Jacques something. I can't remember his last name. I think it's something with an R. From the coach of the Nets is going to be the assistant for Steve. I think it's interesting. I'm excited. But yeah.
And John Morant won Rookie of the Year like 99-1, bro. Like,
Yep, that's huge.
man, listen. I've always said he should have won anyway. I was saying that in the beginning. Like, if he doesn't win, it's crazy because the stuff that he's been doing, man, was a baller. So, because if they would have gave it to Zion Williamson, I would have been like, no.
Yeah. John Morant could have won it. I think was Shea Gilgeous a rookie too? Shea Gilgeous Alexander? I could have seen them giving it to him, but whoever the dude was from the Thunder, like I could see them getting votes, but I thought clearly it was going to be John Morant.
So I was watching the Islanders.
What's the score on that?
4-3 right now. I feel like we should cover that quick for a little bit.
Sure, I'd love to. Just jot down what we're time-stamping things, folks. I don't want the fans to think I'm being rude. Never want to do that.
Dennis, I think you jinxed it, man. It's raining over here.
Did it start raining?
Yeah, I did feel rain. Like,
I mean, it looked pretty dry. I mean, I'm also in my den, so I'm probably not seeing anything, but I usually hear it.
I did hear some rain earlier. I want to talk about the fact that the New York Islanders are one game away from going to the finals, the conference finals, not the Stanley Cup finals, the conference finals. There's one step ahead to the Stanley Cup finals. As an Islander fan, I am excited. I'm hoping, especially right now, they're up 4-3. At this moment, it is 9:10 currently in September. On September 3rd, 2020. I'm excited. I'm thrilled because this is the closest that any of my favorite teams have gotten to anything this far since the New York Mets in 2016 when they went to the wild card. And just Andres Lee, Matt Barzell, those are guys leading the way. Ed Billy, he's amazing. And just all the Islanders around. I'm just excited. Especially I know a lot of Islanders fans who are like close friends of mine too. They were excited too. They were going to, originally before COVID, that playoff games were going to be at the Nassau Coliseum. And I remember you wanted to go see the Devils, right? Islanders Devils. Like I remember you were telling me. I would have definitely went to that. We would have, honestly, I would have been down
Yeah,
to
I
go.
thought it would have been cool if the three of us had gone. Clearly, that didn't work out.
Yeah, and the Coliseum right now is in bankruptcy. That's the topic. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yep. But hopefully someone picks that place up. It's gorgeous and it's new. It's renovated. Yeah, and just I'm excited to see what Belmont looks like. Hopefully we can go to that in the future. I'd love to. I miss going to Islanders games and just taking the train.
That'd be cool.
To Barclays. Barclays was not bad, but it wasn't just like a hockey town. You know what I mean?
The problem with them going to Belmont, dude, is I can see it now. The freaking traffic, man. The freaking traffic. I just that was like the big draw to go to an Islanders game, or the Coliseum in general. Is it's like if you don't want to deal with the train, going to Madison Square Garden, whatever concert, whatever it is, it's going to be in National Coliseum the next day or the day before anyway.
Yeah.
But the last time I was there was, I think I saw a concert. I saw U2.
Really?
Big fan.
They went
Big
there?
fan. Big fan.
I saw you. Really? I saw you two at MetLife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never told you that. Wow.
No,
I never
dude,
knew you
I'm
were
a
a big
huge U2
U2
guy.
fan. Yeah, I didn't I've known them. Like I remember my friend took me for my birthday. Shout out to Christopher Muse.
Yo, yeah, I know him. Yeah, how's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing good. It was his birthday the other day.
Well, if he's watching this, happy birthday, Chris.
I'll tell him he said happy birthday. But yeah, no, it was nice. Like they had like this big set, and it was gorgeous. Concerts at MetLife too. They're insane. They're just as insane. Before the Coliseum shut down, I saw Post Malone.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying. I remember you talking.
Post Malone.
Yeah.
Hollywood's bleeding. Let me tell you.
Oh, dude, I missed the end of the Celtics game. I turned on the hockey game because there's a timeout, and I missed the Raptors tie. Oh man, I got caught up in Bono and the Edge. I got caught up living on the edge, man.
The Islanders trying to have a power play, but I feel like the rest of hockey it's exciting in general. I feel like this is a good discussion to talk about postseason bubbles. Honestly, I'm all for it, and honestly, I could tell that it definitely is like a great sight to see that it does work. So when the MLB playoffs come or the NFL playoffs, I feel like there definitely should be a postseason bubble because you could obviously see that it has been working. What's your guys' discussions on that?
Well, right now, with 0.5 seconds, Daniel Ty just had a clutch dunk to put the Celtics up by 2. Wow. Jeez, man. Wow. Dude, this is going to be a wild ending. This is going to be a wild ending. And Kemba Walker, dude, completely underrated him going into this year, clearly, because I thought they weren't even going to make the freaking playoffs. Dude, if I could go back to – granted, I really didn't think it over when I made it. Because I remember that was when we were on the radio station, Brandon, and when we just – we were just like, oh, yeah, well, let's do predictions. And then, real quick, just jot stuff down. And then I was like, yeah, dude, the Celtics aren't making the playoffs. God. All right, don't quote me on this, but I might have had the Knicks in instead.
Whoa.
Way off on that one, too.
Either
Either the Knicks or I had the Hawks. To be fair, I thought Trae Young and the Hawks were going to do better than they did.
We all
Oh!
What?
Game
What's
over. Raptors. 104-103. Game over. Game-ending three-pointer. Game-ending three-pointer. The Toronto Raptors just iced it. Who was that? They didn't get him. Swish. Drano. I'm trying to see. Lowry inbounds it to somebody. I
He
can't
just
see
got off.
what the last name is. Maybe it's Anunoby. I can't see. Number 3, I think it's OG Anunoby. Yep. OG Anunoby with the dagger. Game ender. Walk it off. See you in a couple of days. OG with the 3 right in the face of. Don't tell me that's Taco Fall, bro. Who's number 7? That's not Taco Fall. That's way too short.
Ball's
I
99.
think that's Jalen Brown. Well, whoever it is, they just got. Oh yeah, no, Taco's on the other end. Whoever number 7 is, dude, you just got freaking ethered, bro. What are you gonna do?
Oh, wow.
Bye-bye. Adios. Hasta luego. Arrivederci. Game over. The Raptors. If I knew how to say goodbye in French Canadian, I would. Dude, what? Wow. Lowry threw it over Taco Fall, other side of the court, perfectly to OG Anunoby, drained. Whoa.
Man,
What an ending.
The Islanders and Flyers are tied up now.
September 10th is next week. Hey.
September 10th, bro. Is that your
What
birthday?
means?
Is that your birthday? September 10th?
No.
Oh, I thought I was going to say wings, boys. Let's go get some
My
wings.
birthday's in October, but
No kidding.
I'm down for some wings.
I'm always down for wings, clearly. No.
I guess a quick question, though. This is what I tried to ask earlier. Postseason bubble. Yes or no? It's working.
yeah, it's
A
definitely
football?
No, well, I'm saying the postseason, like the idea of the postseason bubble. It's
Oh.
been shown, it's been proven to work. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's no like positive tests or whatever. But I mean, like, if you're gonna ask me, like, let's say COVID wasn't. Wow, I just spit on my laptop. If you were to ask me, like, if COVID wasn't a thing, would you want to see it? I'd be like, dude, absolutely not. Because I feel like there's players that just feed off that crowd. I used to do that when I played volleyball. When I saw 5 people in there, dude, forget it. That was a packed house for us. I just played totally different. No laugh.
Yeah, but I mean, because of today's situation, I don't know. To see sports, I'm down with the bubble, man. I ain't gonna. I'm down with the bubble just to see sports. Like, it sucks not not being able to go to games and stuff like that. But you still get to watch sports, so it's like you can't really complain, So
That's good.
But yeah, no, the bubble has worked. I mean, not too many people have, tried to overstep their boundaries either. I mean, you had a couple, but other than that, I mean, everybody's been pretty disciplined.
That's good. That's good. All right, let's get to my sport, NFL.
Ooh, I thought we were talking about the.
Yeah, let's. A week from now, a week from now, we start football. There are no preseason games. There is no football until next week. I'm excited. The feeling in my heart, I'm excited. I just did my fantasy football draft on Monday. I know I showed you guys that. I was excited. I was ecstatic. Then I got big trust, Lamar Jackson. Big trust. And I'm just excited. I'm excited for next Thursday. I'm off on Sundays now, so I can watch football the whole day. No distractions. And I'm just excited to just watch some football. It's been forever.
This
But
past
Sundays, but-
continue.
what's up?
Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you were
No,
done.
you're good, D-Train. You're good.
I got to be better at watching the football this season. Last season, I barely even watched it.
Me neither.
I'd work 6:30 to 3 on Sundays, and then I'd get home and I'd be like, dude,
Take a nap, yeah.
I
I
don't care about no Tom Brady.
No,
I wanna
I-
count sheep for an hour and a half.
no,
Yeah,
I would work I would watch the Jets.
Game Pass, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I work on Sundays.
I would
So,
watch the Jets, and then like I would have to work like 5 to 10. It's like I wouldn't be able to see like how the other games went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I'm the type of football fan where like I would want to like stay home and just watch games all day, especially with the
Yeah.
Jets. As long as I see the Jets, I'm happy. That's all I need to know.
You want to hear something weird? I
What?
can do that with baseball. Like lately, I finished class and then like I have MLB Network while I'm in class. I just pause it, and then when I'm done, like I just like record high heat or whatever, and then like I just watch it all later in the day. But like I've literally like my life lately has just been school, watch baseball, sleep, school, watch baseball, sleep, Big Brother, school, watch baseball, sleep, Big Brother, another episode, and then more school, watch baseball, sleep, and then work. But like football, I can't just sit there and watch football all day. Baseball, I can do it no problem.
Really?
Oh man, when
Weird.
I worked for Amazon, you know what I used to do?
What?
I used to have NFL Network going on, watching every game that was on NFL, even if it wasn't the Texans playing.
Red Zone.
NFL Network playing on. I used to have my phone and I used to have my earpods in, and I'm
Yeah.
listening to that game while I'm delivering packages.
That sounds fun though. Delivering packages and then.
It's not fun, Brendan. I promise you, it's not. Well, for FedEx, it's not fun at all.
No,
It's not.
well, I'm saying, whoa, hey, yo, we're calling taking shots. Hey, no, I'm kidding.
Wow! Make sure your employer doesn't see
No,
this.
no. All right, hey,
I
I'm saying,
love FedEx. You know, it's a great job to have. You know,
I know.
people, I love my managers, but it's just not fun delivering packages to people's houses, especially when they have bulky packages. It sucks, but you know.
No, I know, yeah. No, I know how I feel. Hey, I'm just
But
saying,
yeah, I think
yeah, I'm just able to watch some of the games, you know.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like I work on Sundays, and it's pretty busy on Sundays, so I won't be able to watch games. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just have to get that good old Game Pass subscription, so that way I can watch the games on my off days.
Do you ever
So-
watch NFL Red Zone?
No, I don't. But that's what I'm saying. I need to get the. That's what I'm saying. I need to get the subscription because I need my football this year, man. I need to watch. I didn't watch it last year really because I worked. So I'm determined this year to see some football. So
Right. Hey, knock on wood.
I can't wait till it's the Houston Texans started off with the Super Bowl champions who beat the crap out of us in the playoffs.
You guys beat the crap out of them first, and then it switched around. Like,
Yeah, but they won the one that mattered. I would rather them beat the crap out of us the game that didn't matter than to beat the crap out of us and then win the Super Bowl. So, But I don't know, man. I'm so excited with this Houston Texans team. The whole post DeAndre Hopkins, I'm just interested to see. We've been getting a lot of backlash about it, and
right, yeah.
I'm just ready to see it all fold out against the Chiefs. Whether we win or lose, I'm just ready to see what the new Texans will look like. And so, I'm definitely going to be tuning into that game. Yeah, so that's the opener. So, yeah, man, I just can't wait. Next Thursday, man, September 10th, everybody set your TVs because football is back, baby.
Oh, that's what you're going 7 days for.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
dude.
Today is
I
Thursday.
was way behind the 8 ball on that one.
Yeah, today is Thursday.
That was slow on me.
It will be Thursday again. So, yeah.
Because you're like 7 days. I was like, oh, is it your birthday? And then I was watching the game, and I was like, oh. And then
Yeah,
it didn't click until now that today's
Dude,
Thursday.
I've been counting
yeah.
down for the longest for football to start, honestly. I love football, man. Football is my favorite sport. Like,
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I'm a
football.
baseball guy.
Yeah, football hands down is my favorite. I would say football, and then baseball, and then hockey, and then basketball. I mean, that's just my order. That's just how I feel. I don't know how we all have our different amount of love for each sport. I know how you guys feel about basketball. I'm not that knowledgeable on basketball. It's why I love talking to you guys about it because you guys keep me updated.
oh, yeah,
And, I mean, I know.
Baseball, man. That's how I feel about baseball. I'm listening to you guys talking like, that sounds really good. That sounds really good. I'm just gonna stay over here with my basic knowledge of
Yeah.
baseball, but
Yeah, nah, I mean,
yeah,
I mean, it's always good to. I mean, I know some. Not, I mean, I have some because like I follow them on I follow every sport on like Instagram
yeah,
and Snapchat. You know what I mean? So I mean, I try to keep updated. You know.
yeah. I gotta get up there with you guys on baseball because I'm kind of like y'all are here and I'm like down here, like.
That's how I am with football. You guys talk football, and I'm just like, who's who, man? Like I know, like obviously, that's a little hyperbolic on my end. I obviously know who the superstar players are, but I mean, I think all I need to know is Gardner Minshew is the best player in the league,
What?
and yeah.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Actually, you
No,
just
I'm
reminded
kidding.
me of a topic. No, the one topic I want to talk about right now: the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh.
Eek.
The tanking is real, and I think
Oh,
we
it's
all
real, real.
They cutted Leonard Fournette. They traded their safety Rodney Harrison into the Browns. So I
Calais
say the
Campbell
tanking is real.
to the Ravens. I mean,
They Calais Campbell. Ooh, that was good, man. I can't wait to see how the Ravens do. But I just can't get over the fact that the tanking is real for them.
so
Like
you think they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence or?
yeah, I think without a doubt. But I don't know why. Because I mean, I like Gardner Minshew. I feel like he played good enough. You know, I feel like he balled out a little bit last year to prove that he is capable of being
You
a
want to know
starter
why?
in the league.
You want to know why they're tanking for Trevor?
Because Trevor Lawrence is like the next Peyton Manning.
Bold of you to say that.
Wait, were you asking me or like no? Were you about to like answer that? Like
I'm
wait.
just saying, like, why do you think?
Well,
Like,
I think I mean because Trump. I don't know. I honestly think they just wanted to just start over. They literally got rid of everybody. You name it from the 2017 roster. That roster was insane. They were a good team. Jalen Ramsey kind of jinxed them, not only for that championship game, but obviously for the next couple of years. Because after they beat the Steelers and then they came back to Jacksonville and he said that we're gonna beat the Pats, we're gonna win the Super Bowl. They came up 10 points short in the fourth quarter, and obviously, Tom Brady later, you know, came knocking on the door. I just, I'm not all for tanking, like in sports, like, you know what I mean? Like you work hard all year to win, not really to lose. You don't play to lose, you play to win.
right?
But, honestly, when they have a player like the Jets, they were so-called tanking in 2017 for the quarterback class that was coming up in the 2018 class. I think with the Jaguars, you look at, the potential in having Trevor Lawrence as your potential quarterback. I could see why they would want to tank. Because in my opinion, I feel like he's going to be the next NFL superstar. Hopefully. Knocking on wood, I can't jinx it, but, I like what I see in Trevor Lawrence.
I'm very against tanking in football. I'm for tanking's okay with me in basketball. It's okay with
Right.
me in baseball. Hockey, I don't know how much tanking there really is, but I'd be fine with it because you see guys like Jaromir Jagr that have like 25-year, 30-year careers. So like hockey, I'm okay with it. Football, I'm absolutely not okay with it because the average guy plays what, a year or two in the NFL. The average player. I'm not talking about the Peyton Mannings and the Tom Brady's. The average guy, I can't see them playing more than 3 seasons in the NFL.
Yeah, he's about to.
So I think if I play, let's say I'm in the NFL. I mean, am I really going to spend most of my career playing for some doggy doo-doo team? That's why I like Larry Fitzgerald so much, man. He's been on one team his entire career, and let's call it how it is. Most of those teams haven't been so good. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
No, you're right. You're spot on.
So I think
The only team that was good, I don't even remember the year, but when they played against the Steelers, that was the only team. What was that, like 2010, right?
2010.
2010,
Yeah, I think so.
2009, 2010.
Wait,
That was
so
the only time that they were a team where you're like, yo, these guys got it. And they end up losing to the Steelers. So, but, that's not the point. But, yeah, you're spot on. He hasn't really been on a Cardinals team that has been good in years since they went to that Super Bowl. And
right.
that's a very fair statement. But that ties into loyalty. Those are the guys that you would want on your team. You know, you want those guys that no matter what is going to be always giving their all. You don't really get that a lot now in NFL. You know, people are always leaving, like
Jamal Adams.
Jamal Adams. Perfect example.
Stupid.
I remember Andre Johnson. He left the Texans. He was just fed up with losing, and he went to the Colts. But then the Colts didn't do good that year either, even with Frank Gore. A lot of players. There's a lot of players we can think of. This just needs to come to the top of our head. We just need to think.
Yeah,
but
like football, I'm more okay with it than I am with
Odell.
other sports.
Well, no, I don't think that one was just more of a relationship problem too. So.
Wait, who? Andre Johnson?
No, Odell.
Odell? Oh yeah, Odell. I was talking to someone the other day, and I'm like, why did they? I asked, why did he get traded? And he said to me, honestly, it's just like Odell. It's just Odell.
Such a baby.
Out, so he got it.
I feel, I feel for Jamal Adams. Wait, hold on, what?
Dude, look, I'm a Giants fan. Screw Odell. I had my Odell Beckham Jr. jersey. F him, okay? Look, dude, he went to one playoff with the New York Giants. He sucked. And people are going to say, well, Eli, no. Dude, he was dropping wide open passes. Dropping wide open passes. And then I was about to say that, oh, yeah, let me go on a yacht with Jay Beebs and whatever stupid freaking no name.
It wasn't just Odell. It was the whole team.
I don't care, bro. Dude, you're playing for the New York Giants, dude. You're playing for the New York Giants. If you're playing for the freaking Cincinnati Bengals and you want to, dick around, go right ahead. You're playing for the New York Giants, bro. Playing for the New York Giants, dude.
D-Train, coming in.
Come on. Like, and that's like the thing. It's like, I mean, like, I just don't understand. Like, if you play in New York, you gotta be up with it, dude. You gotta be here to play in New York.
Oh, get in there.
No scrub, no what.
Just the lightning.
Finally heard the rain, yeah.
Yeah.
No jobber from the YMCA or playing pickup games over in Walker Park in Hicksville needs to be freaking playing for the New York Giants, all right? So good. Let Odell go. And then what's he been doing in Cleveland? Oh, that's right. That's the answer, guys. A whole lot of nothing. So I don't want to hear it. Dude's a bum. He's a scrub. He's a hype job. He had that one circus catch, and since then, he's just been the whole circus clown, bro.
Wow.
I just found out something interesting about the whole, Leonard Fournette being cut.
Let me hear it.
Apparently.
I've heard a lot on him. I've heard a lot of things about him.
Yeah, man. Apparently, the players got tired of him.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
They basically went a whole player revolt. And
really?
One of them gone, the front office, one of them gone, and boom, he was gone.
Wow.
And then it was funny because I think it was either the GM or I don't remember, but they were asking, like, why not trade? And he was like, we couldn't get anything for him.
Wow.
I was about to ask, did they try trading him?
Huh?
Oh.
What did you say?
Watching the Islander game. Did they try trading for him?
They couldn't get anything.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
So.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I've heard a lot of things over the years. I remember after his second year, when Tom Coughlin was still there, like, he wanted him gone. So this has been like an ongoing thing for, Fournette and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This isn't just something that popped out. I can't believe the players finally stood up and were like, we don't. Yeah, because he had like the $100 bill taped to his back of the shoulder pads. And now look at him now. He's now a clown.
Well, he's with the Tampa Bay Bucs now, so.
That's still, yeah. But, like, I'm just saying, like, he lost his job. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to see that. But.
Yeah, you lose a job to get another one, right?
Hey, when you get to play with Tom Brady and, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, hey, I mean, a Super Bowl contender.
I actually hate this. You want to know why?
What?
Because they're trying to do this crap again with Tom Brady and Gronk, and I hate it. Because now all of a sudden they're going to go to the Super Bowl and they're going to win.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. We can't give them the hype yet. We gave last year the team with the hype was the Browns, right?
The Browns always get hyped though. And the reason why is because
they got hyped up like they were going to win. People had them winning the Super Bowl.
Dude, let me get in on this, okay? Because I actually know something about the Browns, all right? Dude,
We got insider.
the Browns need to understand something. Baker Mayfield, Odell Scrub Jr., the other guys on their team, man, they need to understand something. Nobody's laughing with the Cleveland Browns, bro.
Laughing at them.
Everybody's laughing at the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
Nobody actually thought that they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. And that's just the talking heads with football and basketball. They're so over dramatic with everything. It's like some rookie has like 3 touchdowns in a game, right? Oh, good on you, man. Good up. Is this the second coming of Dan Marino? Is this Johnny Unitas reincarnated? Did somebody use necromancy to revive Brett Favre's career? I mean, it's ridiculous. That's the thing I like about baseball media. They undervalue everybody, and I'm okay with that.
The Mets always get hype.
Well, the Mets fans are just a different breed.
They always predict them to go number 1 in the NL East, and then they end up playing like they've been playing.
And I'm guilty of that because on paper their team is good.
You know, I feel like Tampa Bay. I feel like they're going to live up to the hype because Tom Brady. I know he's still up to age, but I feel like he's going to play. I mean, this is Tom Brady we're talking about.
Tom Brady can play till he's 80. As long as nobody touches him, he's fine.
Yeah, like this is Tom Brady we're talking about. This isn't like Baker Mayfield. I mean, no, this is Baker Mayfield. Or like, you know what I mean? Baker Mayfield. Wait, what?
I was going to say, there's a difference for Tom Brady, him being old and playing in New England, and him being old and being in Tampa. Like, I feel like the weather is going to play a role in it. You know, he's not going to have to fight through that kind of climate and whatever. I think that could help him get another year or two, just that in and of itself. Because, I mean, like, everybody knows, man, if you get hit or you fall or whatever when it's cold out, when you're real cold.
Oh, you're done,
dude.
yeah.
Wait, I thought is the Islander game going into overtime? It is, right?
Yeah, it's going into overtime, yeah.
That's what I thought.
But I want to get back to Leonard Fournette. I want to talk about this.
Real quick. I just wanted to tell y'all who the Browns remind me of.
Let me hear it.
Moneyball.
Moneyball?
Yes.
What?
No, they do. No, they do because they feel like that they can get a bunch of players and boom, they're just supposed to be a wonderful team and they can go to championships.
Oh, I vehemently disagree with you, my friend.
Really?
Yeah. Moneyball was built upon getting players with hidden value.
No, but I'm just saying in the standpoint of trying to bring in players that they feel can do things to help a team. That's kind of what Moneyball was. You bring in players because you feel like they can bring a certain level to your game that's supposed to make you improve. And it worked for a little bit, and then it wasn't working anymore, just like in Moneyball. But, I mean, Moneyball had a more success rate because these players were actually good. They just went through some stuff, and they kind of was forgotten about. And they were underdogs.
You mean like a 1-year rebuild? That's what you mean.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they feel like they can go get players from free agency, or they can get first-round draft picks, and these players are just supposed to make them relevant, and it doesn't work that way. So that's why they remind me of Moneyball, because Moneyball was a way of trying to basically it's like a get rich quick scheme almost when you think about it.
Yeah,
so I get what you're saying. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, no. At first I was like, dude, what? I was so confused because like when I think Moneyball, I think of like guys with like hidden value, like this whole scene where it's like, you know, well, he doesn't hit a lot of home runs, and then Jonah Hill's like, but he gets on base. That's what I think.
I love that movie, man. That's one of my favorite.
That's a good movie. That's a really good movie.
I like it a lot, but the thing I don't like is how they're very picky and choosy about what they actually show. Like they never talk about how Barry Zito won the Cy Young Award that year, and how their pitching staff was completely loaded, and like Frank Thomas has hit 500 home runs in his career, and was brought in to be the power hitter. Like they're very selective about what they showed, but.
Right. I mean, they can't do everything.
As a movie, it's really good, but I do think it was a little like
picky.
Can you be a little?
I mean, well, it all depends on what type of legal situations is in place. Like,
right.
you don't know if they had access to stuff like that. You know, you just never know. But it was a good movie all around. But yeah, so back to Jacksonville.
I want to talk about Leonard Fournette in the 2017 NFL Draft. So Leonard Fournette was the first pick, the first running back taken.
Yeah.
Running backs after that: Christian McCaffrey,
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon,
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Kamara,
Mm-hmm.
Kareem Hunt,
Mm-hmm.
James Conner, Aaron Jones,
Okay.
Merlin Mack, and Chris Carson. That was the running backs that were taken in that draft. So you look at it, just all the other running backs that were taken, and Austin Eckler too, who was a free agent, undrafted, and Tyree Cohen, who was in the 4th round. They didn't show it here, but you can just see how that draft was loaded with running backs, with potential. We just never knew it.
Yeah.
And Leonard Fournette, in college, he was just insane with LSU. He was like imaginable. He was like, I feel like he was like Bo Jackson in college. He was insane. So I see why he went high. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, no, but Leonard Fournette, he was big. He was huge as a running back, and just he had a lot of hype. I mean, when I just think of Leonard Fournette, I'm just saying he was insane in college.
Why do you guys think with Leonard Fournette coming out that he was, from my interpretation of what Josh had said, a locker room cancer? Is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Why do you think that kind of thing, locker room cancers, we see so much more often in football, and we don't see it as much in basketball, baseball, and to my knowledge, hockey?
I would say.
Why do you think that is? What's your take on that?
I would say.
Or is it me? Or is it me reading too much into it?
No, I would say just from playing sports in high school. I played football and I played baseball in high school. Football people have more of a
Ego.
Exactly. It's an ego, and you tie ego and then you tie in money. Those two things don't mix very well. You know, you see if you look at yourself as a very good running back and you see other running backs getting paid, you kind of get upset. You know, you want your money too. And the quickest thing for you to do is and it kind of worked for Jalen Ramsey's case. He became a cancer because he wanted to get out. So a lot of these guys become cancers just to get out a lot of the time. And once they're out, you can see sometimes they are a different person. Like Jalen Ramsey has calmed down a lot since he's been with the Rams. You don't really see him much in the on NFL Network or any other, ESPN or anything like that. You don't really see much of him like being stupid. But that's just because he wanted out of Jacksonville. So that's kind of the same thing with Antonio Brown, but he's kind of, But
He's
just
better now.
with Antonio Brown, he wanted to get out of with the Raiders. He got out just as quick as he got in, and then he got to the Patriots, and you didn't really hear much until the whole allegation with the woman thing. You wasn't really hearing anything. He was quiet for a while. And so that's just how it goes. A lot of people do that now just to get out of a situation because they know that you either you sit out and you don't play because they want to put you like on I can't even think of the word. But franchise, yeah. So they franchise tag you and you don't have a choice but to stay where you're at. So they become a cancer and they get kicked out. And you kind of just and I feel like that's just something that they probably talk about with their agent on. Hey, do this and do that. Don't do too much to where it's hard for you to get a job, but do enough for you to get kicked out. He did that, and now he's with Tampa Bay. I mean, and so I just feel like, honestly, that's why you see more of a cancer within the locker room because one of the hardest things to control as a coach is the locker room. If you don't have your locker room under control, then you lose control of your whole team. So what do you have to do? You have to get rid of that cancer, right? So that's kind of, I feel like I don't know if that's what that situation is, but I do know just seeing some players, how they are cancer on a team and then another team, oh, well, he's a leader and he does this and that and, oh, we love him. Like, most of the time it's because they wanted out in the situation they were in. I mean, the Jaguars are a horrendous team, so I would understand in that situation why you would want to get out as quick as you can, while you can. So that's kind of what I think on that standpoint.
Interesting.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm just excited for football. I guess I'll put my take in quick. I mean, I played football too, and like some of the times on the teams that I was on, there were a lot of some egos, that just kind of, I don't know.
I know a lot of the people you played with, and I definitely not surprised to hear that. So,
but we're always good teams. It's just, I mean, egos sometimes could take over team. I'm not talking about my team. My teams, I'm not going to name, I'm going to move on for that. I'm talking about like in professional sports, it just egos take over teams. And like Josh said, like, players want their money. They're going to want to do whatever they can to leave. You look at Jamal Adams. I mean, he was looking for his contract and he was willing to do anything, whether it was tarnishing the Jets or tarnishing his head coach. Like, he was willing to do what it was to leave. And I think, like I said, Joe Douglas was just waiting on the right opportunity. But you see how these type of people, like sports in general, is a team sport. You need to win with the people around you. If everyone's not in on the same goal, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel like everyone's got to be.
Dude.
Anything else you guys want to talk about for football, or do you want to move on to the bats and the balls?
Saints are pushing to sign Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh, breaking news. My buddy in T-Train. Talk sports with Josh. I like it.
Didn't you guys want to talk about Cam Newton? I think somebody said
something about Cam Newton.
I think Cam Newton.
Brandon, right? You said you wanted to talk about Cam, right?
Yeah, Cam Newton is the starting quarterback now for the Patriots, and he is the captain. There's people that saying he's working very hard. There's people that saying that he's still the same, hardworking. He comes in and out, treats practice like a game. I'm going up against him in fantasy this week, so I'm hoping he doesn't do good against me this week. But I'm interested to see how he does, and I'd like to see it. What do you guys think on Cam? I think Cam is going to have a good year. What do you guys think on Cam? As D-Train is a pineapple. Oh, there he is. He just reappeared. Right? I don't know. Like, you see, like, you like changing to like a pineapple.
Yeah. I turned my camera off for a second. I think he's going to do really well. I like it. I like change of scenery. I want to see what Bill Belichick's going to do with it. They've had a lot of guys opt out for the season.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to hurt him. I think their record's not going to be good, but I think his stats are going to be good. So I think that he's going to do good, but I think the Patriots are going to do bad, mostly because of the opt-outs. I don't want to hear anybody complain about, Bill Belichick this, Bill Belichick that. Guys, half their team's opting out. Forget it.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a huge year. One, this is pretty much a prove-it year for him when you think about it. It's a one-year deal. He was basically replaced for Teddy Bridgewater, who's a good quarterback. I mean, don't get me wrong. Before he got injured, I mean, he was looking very good. Before he suffered that very tragic injury that he suffered with the Vikings. So you take that into consideration, and then like Cam's been battling injuries himself. So this is going to be definitely a prove-it year for him. A lot of people have been counting him out. And, I mean, like, he was putting out videos, like, all summer of him working out. And, he's listening to gospel music, and he's saying, like, people canceling me out. So I'm basically going to show you. I feel like this is going to be a huge year for Cam. I wouldn't say this is prime Cam, but I would say it's going to be very close. And I'm interested to see how he plays. I think I actually signed him. I picked him as my backup quarterback.
Fantasy.
picked him as my backup quarterback. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think he needed like a year off. He was battling a lot of injuries throughout his playing career. And I think he needed that year to just sit down and just relax and not do anything. Because his body was literally like coming down at him and like he just needed the rest. And now he's fully healthy and he's ready to go. So I'd like to see what he does. I feel like everyone's like cutting out. I mean, I know some of you guys' screens are freezing a little bit. D-Train, you still there?
I think he like went to the restroom or something. I don't know.
You could have told us. Could have took a break. All right, that's all right. Yes, he did. He said he's got to take a break. Man, my parents.
Oh,
Yeah. What?
today, this is also breaking news, I guess. The Seahawks re-signed Josh Gordon.
That is big news. Yes, because Josh Gordon has been around in the league forever. Oh, my TV keeps cutting out, so I can't see the Islanders game.
Yeah, I mean it's this rain, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean I've been in my room for the past couple hours doing the podcast, so I haven't really been able to see what's going on. But damn, Josh Gordon, nah, I mean he's something else. Great receiver.
Yeah.
It just
He's really good, man.
I would have liked if the Jets signed him. I don't know why the Jets didn't sign him. I mean, Mohamed Sanu, he's another good receiver.
The Patriots did cut him. Yeah,
They cut him. Yeah, he's a good receiver. I would like to see the Jets sign him. The Jets need bodies at receiver, and I mean, everyone's getting injured. Denzel Mims, I know he said he'll play, but I would have liked to see Josh Gordon.
Do you really believe in him?
Yeah.
I know he's had a lot of off the field.
Are you kidding?
Really?
Dude, no. That off the field issue is literally marijuana, dude. Like that's not even a drug, honestly. It's not crack, it's not cocaine, it's not like alcohol abuse,
Yeah.
it's weed.
Stay off
That doesn't hurt
the
anybody,
weed.
honestly. So I don't really see that as an issue per se.
You know, I get what you're saying.
I mean, I don't know.
Stay off.
Josh Gordon is just he's just such a great receiver. I mean, like after like battling all these issues, when he went back to the Seahawks and he played for that little bit of time that he was on the field, you could see how of an impact he was. When he went to the Patriots for a little bit, you could see how much of an impact he is. Seeing him for a whole season, do you know what that can do for a team?
I would personally, I would like it. I think
I don't know,
guys.
Man. I'm just excited to see him play, and
I think if a guy is talented, give him the shot. As long as they're not like an a-hole.
Mm-hmm.
Like Antonio Brown, I kind of feel like, dude, you're done. But if you're a good guy and you just had some mistakes, I mean, even if you've done the same mistake 1,000 times, it is what it is. Because, I mean, like, that's the thing is it's like I kind of have, like, the same approach that, like, Stephen A. Smith has when it comes to, like, marijuana and sports or whatever. Is like I get, like, the medicinal part of it. Like, I get it. I know it's not nearly as harmful as cigarettes or alcohol. I get all that. The problem is when you're an athlete, you only have so long to make your money to begin with that it's stupid to just, literally piss it away with every single drug test. That's just my opinion of it. And I understand some people will argue with it or whatever, but it's like, I don't care that what it is that they're using. It's the fact that, like, dude, just be smarter with your money. Like, is it really, like, is smoking a joint really worth $30,000 or $35,000? No way.
Well, I mean, you have to, like, but the thing is, like, and a lot of people don't understand, too. Yeah, they make all this money, and they have this fame that people think is, like, they would die for. But at the end of the day, you have to remember, these are still human beings. They still have stuff in their life that they go through. He want to smoke a little weed to feel better. Like, let him. He's not killing anybody. He's not stabbing anybody. I mean, think about it. They used to use freaking tobacco dip in baseball, and it wasn't a problem. And you can get cancer from tobacco.
Yeah, I
What do
totally.
you get?
Yeah, I
And it's
totally
the
agree with
fact,
that.
and it's also the fact that they use recreational weed right now. So it's like, so somebody can get in trouble for using weed that y'all already use recreational. So it's like, why is there really an issue with that? I don't see an issue with that because he hasn't been an off-field problem. Like it doesn't affect his game. It doesn't affect how he functions. So I just didn't see the whole reasoning behind like that. And they say substance abuse. That's not substance abuse. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Pat McAfee broke it down really well a couple months ago when he got caught the last time. And it seems it's very like they're very strict with it. Like it's a little too much in my opinion. Like you get tested, like you have to go an entire year and you get tested almost every single day. Like, I mean, I get it. And like I also understand the rehabilitation part of it. Like Paul Pierce, the basketball player, got stabbed 7 times, and he had said that a big reason why he was able to come back so quickly and whatnot was because of it, because of medicinal reasons. So I mean, I personally don't think it should be banned, regardless. Not that I do it, I don't see the appeal. But if a guy is into it, I mean, at this point we all know it's not nearly as bad as cigarettes or alcohol. So it's like, what's the point? But is that it for football? Are we ready to talk about some baseball?
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay, let's just do something real quick. This is the 1 hour 40 mark.
Call it smoking weed. Problem or not? No, just
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So baseball. A lot going on with that, and I'll start by addressing the thing that happened just a couple of days ago with the Yankees and the Rays, and then we'll talk about the trade deadline and then standings or whatever. I'm going to pull that up.
Hold on. Are we gonna forget about Tom Seaver?
Oh, I thought we were going to close it out. Okay, that's fine. Oh, how did this get in here?
Oh, I didn't know.
There's a moth in my room. No, let's talk about it. So, buddy, you're the resident Mets fan.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think it's only proper.
I was shocked and saddened to hear that. Not gonna lie, because I mean, my family's generations of Met fans, especially my aunt. When I thought of Tom Seaver, I thought of my aunt. My aunt, she passed away last year, and I know she was biggest Met fan of my family, and like she got to see like the '69 World Series. So did my dad. My dad actually, he actually got a funny story. Like my dad said he was at like a fundraiser event, and Tom Seaver was there, and so my dad went to the bathroom, and Tom Seaver was right next to him. So my dad ended up getting an autograph and gave it to my aunt.
Small world.
Yeah, small world, am I right? But you just look at Tom Seaver, the way he was literally like homegrown Met, just did so much for that organization. And he was going through a lot the past year. So he wasn't even at the 50th anniversary celebration last year. And like, because, he was really going through a lot, with dementia and then complications with Corona. So, rest in peace to him. And that's all I got to say.
He had Lyme disease, too.
Oof, he was going through a lot.
Jeez, man.
He was a
What you
cat.
get from ticks. But, yeah, they were talking about it on baseball today. He was on the cover of the New York Times. I mean, even my mom, who's like not a sports fan at all, she said like, I remember when I was a little kid, I had a Tom Seaver baseball card, and it was the coolest thing.
Wow.
Like just because she grew up only she grew up not that far from Shea Stadium when she was a kid. So she had said like, I remember years ago she was talking to me when I started getting into baseball cards or whatever, and she was like, yeah, it's so cool that that like it was so cool back then, like seeing this guy just was so good. It was ridiculous. And she was like, and he was ours. He was the Mets. So,
Yeah, and
despite her not being like a Met fan, she's not a sports fan. She became a Yankee fan because my dad. But like, it was interesting to hear from like somebody who wasn't a sports fan, like their perspective of like. I mean, I told her about it today, and she was like, "Oh wow, I mean, that sucks." But when I was younger, I remember she talked about it that he like she had his baseball card and it was so cool, and like that's just like how he was in New York at the time, because he was just like he was bigger than just like the Mets. He was a symbol for New York.
yeah,
So I think it's
exactly.
very interesting to see like the New York Times, which doesn't cover sports often, the New York Daily News, Newsday, all that. Everything's just rest in peace, Tom Seaver.
Yeah, and
It's
like
crazy. Like
my dad.
I was born in 2000, so I was born after Mickey Mantle died. I was born after Joe DiMaggio died. I was born after Roger Maris died. So like I never really saw anything that would compare to it as a Yankee fan. Maybe like Yogi Berra or Phil Rizzuto. But like I see like my Met fan friends and like how like this was their guy. This was the franchise.
Yeah,
This was
like he
Tom
was like
Terrific.
yeah, like he was like what Joe Namath was to the Jets, to what Derek Jeter was to the Yankees, to what Messier was to the Rangers, to what Eli was to the Giants. You know what I mean? So he meant a lot to the Mets. And this is something that like my dad kind of told me today, which is true in every way. You
So
know?
rest
But
in peace. Yeah.
yeah, we'll get to that. We'll close out the show with that earlier. But tell me what's going on in baseball.
A lot.
Well,
So we had Aroldis Chapman kind of got himself into a bit of a pickle the other day against everybody's favorite sea creature baseball team, the Tampa Bay Rays. So the so the Yankees and the Rays have a bit of a rivalry, and I have to set the record straight as a completely non-biased person, given it's not like I'm a Yankee fan or anything, but this is my opinion, right? So 2018, we have some scrub on the Tampa Bay Rays throw at Austin Romine and hit him. So CC Sabathia comes to the mound, and we all know the story. He drills him, right? And by doing that, he didn't reach the certain innings pitched in the season, so he actually lost out on like $50,000 or $30,000 or $300,000, whatever it was. I eventually found out the Yankees paid him in anyway because they were like, "Dude, good on you." And then you flash forward, so that was like the start of it. Then you flash forward to this August. The Rays like to throw up and in at Yankees players. Okay, so if you go back to the August 8th and August 9th series, they almost hit Gio Urshela and DJ LeMahieu constantly. They had to leave the batter's box almost every other pitch. So this whole thing that like the Rays and baseball or whatever they're trying to portray of like, oh, the Yankees are the bad guys. It's like, no, dude, no. The Rays are mad because their guy got pitched inside too. Their own tactic of making batters feel uncomfortable by going up and in, throwing 98 miles an hour was used against them. Okay, so that whole like, oh, well, Chapman was throwing up and in on everybody else before he almost hit Brasso. Dude, nonsense. It's big BS. Do I think Tanaka hit that dude intentionally earlier in the game, Joey Wendell? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Tanaka is a pretty stand-up guy. I don't know. But it's one of those things that only the pitcher can say if it was intentional or not. It is what it is, man. It's a part of the game. It's a stupid part of the game, but it's a part of the game. I think Chapman, by going like that close to drilling a dude at 102 miles an hour in the head, I thought that was too far. I think Chapman, you got to be more of a professional, Aroldis. And and I mean, look at him today, bro. Freaking blew another game. But that's just is what it is. Do I think Aaron Boone should have been suspended? Absolutely not. Do I think Cash from the Rays should have been suspended for saying I got a whole lot of guys in my stable that could throw 98? Should have been suspended? Yeah. That's ridiculous. I don't even think if Chapman should have been suspended. He didn't hit anybody. He came really, really close. It was a really dangerous pitch, but he didn't hit anybody.
I think it's more of the principle, though.
I mean, I get it, but it's like I don't like how it's like people are making it seem like the Rays are completely innocent. Dude, they've done this to every Yankees batter, though. They've gone up and in, and the Yankees batters have to leave the box because they know it's like DJ LeMay, who is a much better hitter than I'm a pitcher, so I can't go at him. Gio Urshela is a much better hitter than I am a pitcher, so I can't go at him. So I got to make him uncomfortable because I'm a scrub. And I'm playing for the Tampa Bay Rays, and I got 4 fans in my crowd, and all of them are Yankee fans because they're all retired.
I mean, the record looks good right now, though.
Yeah, I know. This is just me venting, dude. Okay, let me have it. All right, bro. But like, I'm annoyed, dude. I'm annoyed.
You know,
And I get it. They're ahead of us in the standings and whatever, and they're a good team. And I get it. It's like now it's like, oh, now that we're the good guys, now that we're the good team, you have to be baby boys when when you guys used to beat up on us every game. It's like, dude, I get it, but like, this is ridiculous. I understand everybody wants to hate on the Yankees. They're the Lakers or the Celtics of baseball. I get it, but it's like, let's call the facts the facts. The Rays are instigating. Okay, they're the kid at the lunch table who's throwing stuff and throwing stuff and throwing stuff at the other table, and then somebody else thinks it's another guy and gets up and punches them, and it's like, oh, I didn't do anything. That's the Rays, man. The Rays, that stupid little kid who's probably wearing the highlighter colored Nike socks and the Cookie Monster hat and the Osiris sneakers, slugging a monster and probably throwing bugles at the guy. All right, that's who they are, man. They're the bugle hurler. All right, bro.
Why you have to do the monsters like that, man?
they're wearing the Cookie Monster hat. They're drinking the Monster Energy drink, dude.
Not the Monster Energy drink, man.
Wow.
Their name is probably something like Chase.
Somebody named Chase is gonna feel really offended that you said.
Well, do yourself a favor and go change your name, Chase. You're welcome. D-Train seal of approval, baby.
Wow.
Yikes, that's awful.
Chain going off right
That is pretty awful.
All right, man. You guys are saying awful. You guys aren't saying I'm wrong. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I like being a Brandon.
I think you're wrong about the
being a Josh. Hi, Josh. You like being a Josh? I like being a Brandon. I'm sure you like being a Dennis too. Do you like?
They can say whatever they want about Dennis. I don't care, bro. They gotta specify because Dennis is usually spelled with one N. Big brain play. Big brain play.
Really?
Now
I'm getting spelled with 2 N's a lot.
Though. Yeah, I thought it was with 2 N's.
That's what I said. It's usually not spelled with one N.
Oh, okay.
So I can fly under the radar, dude. Like they're gonna say like what are they gonna type out? All DENNISs are trash. It's like, oh, I know. Tell me about it.
Specifically you.
Yeah, like specifically you. It's like me. Oh, I'm so offended.
No,
Bro, you didn't even spell my name right. One N guy. Now I'm just kind of going off. Now I'm just getting too rowdy. I don't even know what I said for the past 5 minutes.
You're talking about people named Chase. Like, Chase didn't do anything to you, Dennis.
This has nothing to do with sports. I don't know where that came from. I've been watching too much MTV, man. Too much MTV.
Yeah, you've been watching too much MTV, let me tell you.
I've been watching too much Degrassi. I feel like there's a guy on Chase who's a jerk in Degrassi, probably. I could see that being a thing. So the trade deadline, dude. So we got the Yankees made no moves.
Man. Yo, a lot of teams made moves. It was like
even the Mets
transaction after transaction. It was like Christmas, man.
Yeah, except for Yankee fans because we didn't make any moves. Which honestly I'm okay with. I would have wanted to get rid of some of those guys to bring back a starting pitcher, but there really wasn't like. I kind of feel like people are saying there's so many good pitchers on the market. It's like, was there really? I mean, outside of Mike Clevenger, it's like Lance Lynn this and Lance Lynn that. It's like Lance Lynn was on the Yankees a couple of years ago, bro, and he wasn't that special. So I mean, like the Cashman might just have a bad taste in his mouth and might not want to make any moves with him, might not want to give anything up. I'm okay with it. trying to think of other guys, pitchers that were – and that was kind of it for pitchers. Like Johnny Cueto's name was being thrown around, but the Giants think they're going to get in the playoffs, so they didn't deal him. I mean, it was a bizarre trade deadline. Then we saw Mike Clevenger go to the Padres, which is probably the biggest sports trade of the year.
Making a lot of transactions.
They made a lot of moves, man. They brought in Austin Nola. They brought in obviously Mike Clevenger. They brought in a couple of relievers. They did some stuff. They made some moves, man. They made some moves. And I thought what they had to give up for Mike Clevenger was like nothing. They didn't. I mean, they gave up like nothing to get him. So, I mean, I think they gave up like Austin Hedges was like the biggest name that they had given up. And then the Mariners made some good moves, and they had gotten in the I'm forgetting the gentleman's name. He's a really good prospect for them. Taylor something Taylor. Outfielder. Great player. Heck of a player. Heck of a ball player. He's going to be good moving forward. They got, Kyle Lewis and all those boys. Got a good young team. I like it. I can dig it. But I'm trying to think of the guy's name, and I can't. Sorry, folks. And I'm trying to think of like other really big trades that happened. The Padres got Mitch Moreland. Todd Frazier went to the Mets. Welcome back, Toddy boy.
He had a good game today. He went 3 for 5.
Yeah. And then Josh, your Astros made a deal with Brandon's Mets. Robinson Chirinos. What do you think?
I didn't even see that, man. I have not been I've been so busy. I haven't been able to see anything, man. Like, work been kicking my butt. But I mean,
stay grinding though.
I don't know. I mean, it's working. It's working out because we've had a lot of injuries, man. Honestly, I mean, you're pretty much done for the year with that knee injury. So, oh man, I don't know, but as long as we keep winning.
Let's go Islanders. Yeah, I'm just excited. My score. They got a score right here. Just watching some of the game. Oh, get it in there. Oh, no.
Ooh, close. That was a close one.
You saw that. But, yeah, just, I'm glad to see Todd Frazier back in the Mets uniform. I don't know why he didn't come back. It's just good to see. But, it was a good game today. The Mets won 9-7. I saw Pete Alonso with the walk-off home run. It was good to see, Because the Mets have been losing 5 straight, and they just, and they start winning games.
Yeah.
We're almost by the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. So real quick, before we leave the baseball topic, let's do a little let's see, who do you guys think are going to make the playoffs? All right, just real quick, a little quick thing before we wrap it up. Okay, so we have right now in the playoffs for the American League, we have the Tampa Bay Rays, the New York Yankees, Cleveland Indians, Chicago White Sox, Oakland Athletics, Houston Astros, Toronto Blue Jays, and the Minnesota Twins. I'm actually kind of all right with that moving forward. I don't really think we're going to see too much different.
No.
I don't think the Tigers have the pitching for it. Jacoby Jones is going to be hurt for the rest of the season. He's been their best player all year, so I think we're going to see them drop off pretty quickly. I don't think the Royals have anything that would be able to like overlap them. The Orioles and the Red Sox, I mean, guys, come on, let's be real here. The Mariners, I don't have any faith in their pitching. They have a good young team. I would like to see them get in there. I like Kyle Lewis, but I can't really see that happening. The Rangers, I don't know. They didn't trade Lance Lynn. I think they could have suckered somebody into getting him. I think they could have gotten rid of Joey Gallo and got a lot in return. They didn't make any moves, so I'm just confused. And then another team that I thought was really lackluster at the trade deadline, the Angels. You got Mike Trout, you got Albert Pujols for another year or two. You have Shohei Ohtani, and you have Anthony Rendon, and you have no pitching. You have nobody that could throw a ball. It's ridiculous. And this moth keeps flying around my freaking den, dude. Got lost. I don't know what you guys think about that. Oh, and since the last time we've seen each other, Lucas Giolito threw a no-hitter. Congratulations to the Chicago White Sox. What's your thoughts on this, boys?
I think it's pretty set in stone for the AL. Yeah, that's pretty set in stone. Unless the Blue Jays just start crapping the bed or something.
They were very active at the trade deadline.
They were?
Yeah, they had brought in Jonathan VR from Miami. That's one we got to talk about because they made a huge move. They brought in Ross Stripling, and they brought in another pitcher, and I can't believe I'm forgetting him because he's a pretty well-known pitcher. I got to look this up. How am I forgetting this, man? Toronto Blue Jays trade deadline. How do I not remember this guy's name? Let's see, man. Let's see. Ross Stripling, yeah. Robbie Ray, yes. They had gotten Robbie Ray, dude, from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Robbie Ray is a hype job. I mean, I like it for them because they don't really need. Like, I feel like in the division they're in, the region that they're in, I should say, I think they'll get into the playoffs with that pitching, that just above average pitching. But Robbie Ray is having the worst season of his career, and that says something because he's kind of been on the. He had a peak last year, and then he's declining again this year. He's like the golden boy of MLB Network. I don't know why they just love him.
Yeah, I just saw. Yeah, I'm watching the Islander game. I just want to bring this up, and I just saw some player mock, one of the players. I thought it was the most dirtiest look.
Yeah, I saw that. A little Broad Street Bullies, the Flyers. Yeah. I can't believe this Islander game is still going on.
Yeah, still.
Dude, guys, somebody score, man.
Islanders score.
Islanders score. Oh, that was sick, dude. He did a little pop-up. But, yeah, so, I mean, they were pretty active. They're pretty active, the Blue Jays, the Toronto Blue Jays. So I could see them going forward. The Red Sox, I think that we can all speak that can I kill this moth? Can I get him? Did I get him? Oh, I did. No, he flew away. Dude, I whacked him. He escaped my clutches.
He's like, did I get him? He's like,
dude, I hit him. He was on my hand. He's toying with me.
Oh, D-Train.
Dude, I feel bad for our viewers because I'm talking during it because I'm trying to talk about the deadline, and this thing's just flying around me, and I have to whack him. But, yeah, I think that's it for the American League. National League, huge news coming out of our favorite team, the Miami Marlins. They got the best position player on the market. His name, we all know, Starling Marte. Leading up to the trade deadline, a lot of people thought that Mr. Marte was going to be wearing the Yankee blue and white pinstripes. Didn't happen. Instead, he decided to, boys say it with me now, hashtag get fishy with it. And get
with it.
Fishy with it.
And get traded to our show's consensus favorite team, the Miami Marlins. And I only say that because we have a viewer who lives in Florida and has given us respect for supporting the Marlins. So shout out. Al, I think his name is Albert or Anthony. Shout out to you, my man. You're my number one fan. I respect it, dude. But yeah, Yeah, so we're big Marlins fans here now. We all know that. And they had also brought in they brought in somebody else too. Let me look it up real quick. I don't want to give any fake news. I don't like that. Marlins trade deadline. Let's see. And here we go. Okay. All the Marlins moves. Okay, so this is from. Let's see this, dude. So yeah, they traded away some guys for Starling Marte. Kind of covered that already. Jonathan VR was traded to Toronto, and in return they got the son of Mr. Marlin, Griffin Conine, the son of Jeff Conine, Mr. Marlin. So that's always a good one. You like kind of seeing that kind of stuff. There were infielder Isan Diaz opted back in. That's cool, and that's kind of it for them. But I'm glad to see that they got Starling Marte in a division that's pretty weak and very disappointing. I think everybody thought it was going to be a race, but the Nationals, the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, dude, it's been a dilly-dally. It ain't been no race. So, yeah. Just want to see where this player went. Archie Bradley, I forgot where he went. Oh, and then the Reds were pretty active, too. They got Archie Bradley, and then they got Goodwin from the Angels. So they were pretty active. And I think they're already in a division, the Central Division, that's that's winnable. They're 16-21. I know that's not too easy on the eyes. They've had injuries and whatnot, but the Cubs have not been playing the way they were playing to start the season. The Brewers, I really don't know how sustainable it's been. They've been streaky all year. The Cardinals, I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Cardinals, to be honest. And the Pirates are getting their lunch stolen from everybody. So I don't really think too highly of them either. So let's talk about the playoff picture for the National League before we wrap up. In the National League East, the two teams advancing right now are the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. Then we got the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals out of the Central. And out of the West, we have the Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. And the teams that are in the playoffs right now are our favorite team, hashtag get fishy with it, the Miami Marlins, and the Colorado Rockies. Good for the Rockies, man. Good for the Rockies. It's been a wild season so far. People forget there's the expanded playoff. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a wild one. Because every team in the National League right now is within like 3 games of getting into playoffs. So it's going to be exciting. Exciting down the stretch. Who's a shock?
The Nationals.
Really? Strasburg's been out all year, man.
Yeah,
No
but
Zimmerman?
all the way off like that, though.
Yeah. Sean Doolittle. They need to lock down that bullpen, man. Sean Doolittle's been a bum.
Like, they almost worse than the Pirates.
That says something. Ahoy, mateys.
I think we are set.
I think so. I think we're all a little shot right now. This has been a long one. I had to take a little potty break about a half hour.
Oh,
So,
I enjoyed the show tonight.
This was a good one. And I think it's only fitting that we end this one off with a moment of silence for the franchise, but also for beloved actor and activist Chadwick Boseman,
Yes.
beloved Portland Trailblazer and Phoenix Sun player and Survivor player Clifford Robinson, who has his jersey retired at UConn, who passed away over the weekend, and Coach Lute Anderson, who was a college coach. I'll get the name and I'll put him. I'll actually look up the name first. I don't want to do Lute dirty like that. Lute Olson. Sorry about that. Lute Olson, Cliff Robinson, Chadwick Boseman, and Tom Seaver.
Tom Seaver.
So a little quick moment of silence, boys,
Wakanda
for
forever.
all of these superstars that we have lost. And that's it, folks. Do any of you guys want to lead us out? Close it off? I was just talking for a while. Want to
I
get the
just want
ball
to
around?
So thank you to everybody that tuned in to the Buddy and D Train and Josh, the BDJ Talk Sports Show. I'm Buddy.
I'm D-Train.
And I'm Josh.
Have a good night, everyone, and stay safe.
Good night.
Take care, folks.